Soondubu Jjigae, one of my favorite Korean dishes. If there was a tier list of Korean dishes, this would definitely be an S tier for me. You know, I feel like Korean soups and stews are kind of overshadowed by the flashy Korean barbecue, bibimbap, bulgogi. But this is my favorite kind of Korean food. It's homey, hearty, perfect when it's cold outside, and just tastes like a warm hug. So, let me take you on a totally disorganized way of how to make Soondubu Jjigae. Every good Soondubu Jjigae starts with dashima, the kelp and typically anchovy-based stock. It's a foundational part of Korean cuisine. Got dried anchovies. When you're working with dried anchovies, especially in making stock, you want to remove the head. See all this black stuff here? You want to get rid of that. It leaves a slightly bitter taste to the stock. Scrape that out. You're just left with the body. So cleaning the guts out of these things are super tedious, but it's these little details that makes cooking go from good to great. And I truly believe that if you cook with love and passion, it'll show in the food, and people who eat it will recognize that. Nowadays, most Korean soups and stews are quite popular, and that's mostly due to BCD Tofu House. I still remember the first time I had Soondubu Jjigae, and it was at this BCD Tofu House in New York that I just stumbled upon. And it was honestly life-changing. Now, Soondubu Jjigae was actually brought to the West after the Korean War, when Korean military men brought jjigae recipes back to the States. Every dashima stock needs kelp. I see a lot of people on the internet whenever they're making dashi stock, they wash their kelp or they rinse it with like a wet paper towel. Don't do that. This white stuff here is flavor. It's a sugar called mannitol. It adds another dimension of like sweet umami-ness to your stock.
That white sexy shit, that's flavor, baby.
Kelp, anchovies, voila. Now just bring that to a boil. I know some chefs out there will be like, oh, you're gonna make your dashi stock the proper way, keep it at 62 degrees Celsius for 2 hours or whatever. Just boil it. No one's gonna do that Michelin star crap at home. While the dashima's going, let's prep our meats for the soondubu. We got green onion. I'm gonna separate the whites and the greens. Just finely chop the whites. Always need garlic. Did you know that Koreans per capita consume the most garlic in the world? You know those people who are always like, oh, you can never have too much garlic. They're right. Garlic peeling hack. Kind of. Get a bird's beak paring knife if you have one, or just a regular paring knife. Off with the stem. Boom. 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 Practice that a few times, you'll be super quick with it. So I'm just making one portion. I'll use about 4 cloves for this, and we're just gonna give this a nice slow mince. And because I'm like every social media chef, I need to show off the knife skills. Get in here, get in here. Honestly, this method of mincing garlic is such bullshit. Just use a grater. But it looks good on camera. And that's why we do half of what we do, right? Completely use this technique at home. There you have finely minced garlic that a grater could do in half the time. Okay, dashima's boiling. Turn down the heat and skim off a little bit of these impurities. Now I'm just gonna let that go for another 5 minutes, extract all the flavor, and then we'll strain it. The dashima's ready, let's strain it. If I was in a restaurant, I'd use a paper filter, but at home, it doesn't matter. The great thing about Korean jjigaes is that, gotta love that word, jjigaes. The great thing about Korean jjigaes is that they can be vegan, you can have meat, seafood, pretty much anything you want. I love meat. I'm gonna be using some pork jowl, which is super fatty, a little bit chewy, has a great texture, and I just find it's perfect for soups and stews. I'm using a different board for meats, which is, if you're at home, it doesn't matter too much, but especially if you're using wooden boards, I would definitely use a different board for meat and vegetables. I'm just gonna slice these super thin. Just like that. Man, pork jowl is just fantastic. It's literally great in any application. Braised, grilled, smoked. Oh, if you've never had char siu pork jowl, you're missing out. That thing is like crack. Look at this marbling. And pork jowl is one of the best bang for your buck, you know, fatty marbled meats. I got all this pork jowl for $10 a pound. Okay, after we slice it thin, I'm just gonna cube it up. Give it a nice little dice so that it cooks super quickly, releases all that good fat into the stock. Ow! Just kidding. Did you think I actually cut myself?
No. That was so dumb.
Don't forget the onion. Now get yourself an onion.
Whoa, that's a big onion. Look at that.
Just gonna give this a lyonnaise cut, which is when you go around the onion and you get really nice little slivers. Ready for some action? Even after chefing for half a decade, I still cry when I cut onions. I'm just super sensitive. Look at this beautiful mise en place. I'm sure it would make Escoffier cry. Yeah, right. Alright, patty platers. If you don't have one of these, get one. This is a dukbegi, which is a Korean clay pot used for soups and stews. It insulates heat incredibly well and keeps your soup warm throughout the entire meal. Gotta dust them off. Trusty spat. Sesame oil, of course. I feel like Koreans are also the #1 consumers of sesame oil. I gotta look that up. If it is, it'll be right here. First step, we're gonna make scallion oil by sauteing scallions in sesame oil. It's called pagirum. Little bit of sesame oil. Get all nice scallion whites in. Woo-hoo-hoo, it's hot. I'm also gonna add in some butter because this is a trick I learned from my favorite Korean jjigae restaurant. This smells so good right now. And we're gonna go in with the diced pork jowl. Once the pork has just started to color and rendered out most of the fat, we're gonna go in with the other ingredients. Onion, garlic. Let those things get to know each other. Now we're gonna go in with some gochugaru. Add a little or a lot depending on your level of spice tolerance. I like it pretty mild to medium, so about 2 tablespoons worth. Oh! Time for our dashima stock. I'm adding some mixed frozen seafood to my Soondubu Jjigae. You got some squid, mussels, clams, and shrimp in here. Shellfish is just so nice and sweet. I love adding seafood to it because it just adds more of that briny umami flavor. Soondubu Jjigae is probably the Korean dish that I eat the most. And you know, where I live in Vancouver, it gets cold 8 months of the year. I'm always craving this. Just gonna give it a little taste and then season to adjust. It's there, I mean, it just needs a shit ton of salt. Also a dash of soy sauce. I am a Kikkoman stan till I die, but that's up to you. I'm also gonna add a little bit of fish sauce just to amp up the umami. That hits the spot. Now we add the Soondubu. Ooh, she's a squirter. Amazing. Squeeze these little guys in. Take your favorite spoon and break that sucker up. Nice and small, rustic looking. Once it's boiling, we're gonna add an egg. Just kidding. All you creators who crack the egg on your skull, how do you do that? It freaking hurts. Ow! But it is okay. Uh-oh. She's a little full. That's alright. Just means you got more soup to eat, right? And more shit to clean up afterwards. It's all good. Oh. Just kidding. This is a pain in the ass. Alright. Let's eat. Bada boom. Garnish with some scallion. There we go. Soondubu Jjigae. Stupid, sexy, easy, ugly, delicious, everything. No, I could eat this every day of the week. Now you gotta eat this with some rice. Whoa. Break into the egg. Hits the spot. I really think Koreans have it on lock when it comes to soups and stew. Like, and I'm not even Korean, I'm Chinese, and we make some great stuff, but there's nothing like this. It's no BCD Tofu House or House of Tofu Soup, but this'll do. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you like this more, casual style of content. And if you want to see any other dishes that you want me to make, drop them in the comments. Appreciate every single one of you. Like and subscribe. Thank you.